All right, Star Wars fans, welcome back to part 2 of the restoration of the Imperial troop transport. So I guess to update everybody, what I've got here is two vintage Kenner Imperial troop transports. And at this point, I decided to go ahead and restore one to the original OEM Kenner specs and style. And the second one is going to be a custom. So let's talk about the custom for a little bit, just for a minute. You can see I had to go through and actually retro bright both of them. As I got in there, man, they were just brown and just wouldn't clean up, didn't look good. So I really feel good about the position we're in right now on that. And so on the custom one, what I did was 3D printed some custom doors. I do have the original doors, so this wasn't missing too much. Some of the things, the cannon, the satellite, the battery door cover was missing. But yeah, so I printed those. I've got actually a cannon in there that's a little bit adjustable. So I tried to paint to match. You can see that is tough. This has it always looks good until it dries. And yeah, I did some experimenting, and it looks like I should have added a little more brown to that. But I think once we get the panels on, I think it's going to look good. It's not uncommon to see kind of in Star Wars ships where the paneling does vary on, a lot of the different things that we have. So, and I don't know that the originals were just perfectly the same color if I went back with that. So yeah, so the doors are really cool. I'm excited about that. The pods for the troops are really some neat looking things. So you can see just in comparison to the originals, this has kind of that opening where they could step out, place inside. They can put a blaster as they're traveling. So that's a neat thing. This is the prisoner restraint piece, the redesigned piece on that. So that's cool. I'll demonstrate that as we get that together. Just kind of it's original cannon for the top, but it is a little more robust than what the original was, and that's a 3D printed part there that I painted. And then the other thing that I really like is the satellite dish that kind of goes on that back part. So I think that's really going to look neat, along with that custom battery door cover. So yeah, so we've got that. So that's ready to go. And then the original one, you can see this is cleaned up, and it really is turned out very nice. Just a couple little spots that are still maybe brown as the plastic degrades and that, but compared to what it did look like, it's really turned out really good. So I'm happy for that. So what I'll be doing, I got both of the record players to work. Both of those motors were frozen. I've got those working. The audio is good on all that. So I'm going to go back together. I'm going to clean up the base of that and treat that with some chemicals. I have restoration stuff for plastic, so it really looks nice. And then so we'll go back together with the internals on both of them, the custom parts on this one, all the originals here, back with stickers, fully assembled, and bringing them back. I guess one back to its former glory, and the other one back to more of a customized state. And I just included this. This is going to be probably a project down the road, but I was able to pick up the mail-away stand from the original 12. So I've got some pieces coming for that. It's got two little tabs broken, but all the mechanics work, and the plastic itself, I cleaned it up. It's really nice. So yeah, so look forward or through the video archives if you're watching this down the road somewhat. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and go back together with stickers, assembly, one being all original, the other one being a customization. So bear with me. So we'll get this stuff together and see what this looks like as we assemble. All right, so here we have the finished products. So the one on the left is the custom that I finished up. So it basically, I'll go into a little more depth, but a custom side pods, front doors, cannons, battery cover, and that satellite dish. I did 3D print the turret, kind of that that round half ball turret piece on the top, but it's original to that, and then that top turret is as well. But yeah, so it turned out really good. And then you'll see the one on the right is original Kenner. So went back in the original styles with that. So yeah, I am just thrilled how these turned out. I retrobrided them. You know, there were some really issues, and you can see just a little bit of brown on the front of this. I really had trouble getting that final part to come out. And you know, there's always a point where you're going to bail out, but it you know, to where are we going to start to hurt the integrity and actual color of the plastic, or do we keep going? And that, so yeah, I elected to go ahead and bail out of any more retrobriding as far as that goes. But yeah, so all the electronics work, the record players, you'll see that in subsequent videos. So yeah, what a neat project that was to disassemble that old technology and see how that works. Just so cool. So if you ever get a chance and you like challenges and like opportunities like that, I would encourage you to get one of these and go through that process. But show a little closer in this. Yeah, you can see just such. Got a stormtrooper in there, and these are all original stormtroopers, and then the prisoner restraint on Princess Leia there. So yeah, went back with electronics and cleaned up all the contacts, and that really turned out great. And like I said, I always wanted one of these as a kid. I only ever saw one. A friend of mine who lived in a town close to me had one. I was at his house, and he had it loaded up with snowtroopers from what I remember. And I was just blown away. But they made this thing like one time, and this technology, this record player, was the only thing I think that Kenner made in the Star Wars line with that. So as I've showed it to different friends, and that just such, like, to me, cutting edge technology in a toy. And for whatever reason, if it was cost prohibitive or didn't work great, I don't know, but we never saw it again. So it never came back out. So a lot of the Kenner Star Wars stuff was groundbreaking and just so cool. You know, you take like the remote controlled Sandcrawler. I'm so happy to have one of those, and I'm equally as happy to have this. So I have the that custom, and I don't know, I want to keep both of these or maybe sell one, I'm not sure. But let's look at the custom here, and you can see, let's start on the front doors. So I tried to paint match, but if you've ever done that, man, it's tough. But with the pods being like that, and some of that looks like two-toned equipment in my mind. I like the look of it. So yeah, but you can see that these doors still function. You can see the cannons pop in. So what a cool thing. I'm going to share the Colts file for that on how to if you want to 3D print this kit and go with that. But really cool. I had to modify the stickers with those turrets and the gun on the front. And you can see I've got we're on Hoth theme. I've got the AT driver decided to pilot this thing as they're going along. So we've got a Hoth Rebel Trooper, and this is a custom prisoner restraint for this too, so it fits differently than the one in the original one. So yeah, that file's in there too. It fits in, so really cool. And it can fit a little larger scaled prisoners and with bigger heads and that. So that's kind of cool. I always like to show this guy. He's a Super 7 robot. If you don't have him, check that. I got him off Amazon. He's just one of my favorite action figures right now. But I love the Imperial symbol on the battery cover. So cool. One of my favorite parts too. And this, I know the satellite dish on the original that's how they made it, but it looks almost like a weird chair. This is so cool. I love that upgrade. I mean, I love both these. So I can't say enough, but really cool. So yeah, the other side you can see. And then one cool thing that I didn't mention, if you look inside the compartments, this has the kind of that rectangular slot right in there. So the modeler, the originator of this, the creator, made that so that maybe their blasters could be stored in there while they're in transport. So that's kind of a cool thing as well. So yeah, so that's that. The Imperial troop transport from the late 70s. Was not in a media film of that time. We did see it surface in The Mandalorian. I have a couple of those too. I love that. I mean, I just think that is so cool. But I really like these vehicles. I'm glad I got them in my collection. I'm glad I've got the original to put with my displays in my Kenner, and I'm happy I've got the custom. I don't know how it really fits, you know, especially since I've got the Mandalorian ones, a couple of those already, but I think it was cool to take that. I mean, it was a box of parts and junk. So to resurrect some plastic that could have just been thrown away, honestly, and make a go of it, I'm always up for a project and restoration. So that is really cool. So again, thank you guys for watching. Look in the video notes. You'll find the links for the Colts 3D printing website to get the files if you want to do that. Leave some comments if you have questions as far as how this went. I'd love to help and kind of walk you through. One thing I wish I did do, I've had some people ask about it already, is do a little more in-depth on the record player, the disassembly. There are some good tutorial videos out there on that. So if you Google that or go on YouTube and search that, you'll be able to find some good videos on that. I didn't document that part very well, and I wish I would have now that I'm back together and have had some people question on that. But that information is out there. So again, if you find this content interesting, restorations, diorama, building, world building, just collecting, any of that stuff, I'm mainly into Star Wars, but I have branched out a little bit. Just did a video the other day on some DC retro Superman figures from Superman the movie. Really cool, so check that out. Custom figures, dioramas, restorations, all that stuff is really my passion. What I like to talk about as I curate, restore. I just want to bring people along as I'm enjoying this hobby and this passion that I have in collecting. So if you like those kind of things, you're probably going to like my channel. I would just ask you to consider subscribing. That way you'll be made aware of content as it comes out. Look at my channel and my library. You're going to see things like Death Star restorations, 3D printing the Katana Jabba's sail barge, building the Hoth diorama, Jabba's palace, the Mandalorian collection, just so many cool things that I've really enjoyed doing. So all that is in my, and that's not to mention my vintage Kenner playlist, as I've been building that collection and collecting them all. That's another playlist that I've got out there too. So if you enjoy that part and you're not a modern collector, but you do like the OG, like the vintage Kenner, check that site out as well. But again, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. This is Mando Mitchie. God bless all of you. We'll see you on the video next time.